Why, hello there, everyone. Hemoglobin here. We are going to be playing some Raid, so I am going to post that I am doing this. And just again, I'm hoping you're having a great day. Um, I'm hoping you're having a great day. I'm feeling a little bit better. Um, I talked about it in my Minecraft video that's posting tomorrow, the 10th. This will be posted way after this. Um, so I guess a couple of things to kind of give you an idea as to what's going on. I, oof, let me go back to this. Okay. So what's going on in my life is that I have some mental health problems. And when I wake up, I'm sometimes very nauseous. So I don't take my morning medications. And that really affects my health because I kind of get withdrawal side effects. And no, it's not benzos, it's Horizon extended release gabapentin. Uh, it helps with part of the bipolar uh, impulses, like shopping impulses specifically. Um, I'm on a lot of medications. The risperidone kind of helps me be calm, but if I take, it depends on the day, and I don't know if it's like if I'm hydrated or not hydrated, but I know when I take the full tablet in the morning, I'm shaky, but if I take a half a tablet, I'm okay. Um, Again, like if I'm nauseous first thing in the morning, which recently I have been, I I have trouble downing those medications. Um, Once I realized the mistake that I made, I corrected it, and I feel a lot better. But I also took a second dose of Excedrin, so I've taken 4 or 6 tablets of it already. It helped. It's I thought it was from the vaccinations, and it still could be from the vaccinations um, that I have. And it could be from me mistakenly not taking my medications, and I honestly don't remember. Like my short-term memory is bumpkus, like it's terrible. And I know this kind of sounds like a vlog right here, but I think I should be honest with my mental health because there are people who feel like they're odd, they're strange, they're different. Um, no one can help them. But being bipolar, you really have the manic phase, which it feels great. It feels like you're full of electricity and you're on top of the world and nothing can hurt you. The opposite for me is depression. So that's the other swing of bipolar. And it got so bad I couldn't get out of bed um, and to work. So I had to get it treated. So I took some time off and they I got some help. When I got back from my leave of absence, they had hired somebody else full time. So I wasn't getting any hours. And I was so anxious about it that I couldn't eat. Even just trying to take a bite out of my sandwich made me want to vomit. So I lost a lot of weight, which now, thanks to some of the psych medications, I am overweight. So I'm kind of like, I would appreciate it if I couldn't eat. But that is idealizing anorexia, which isn't healthy. And I do not encourage anorexia, do not encourage bulimia, do not encourage exercise bulimia, which one of my exes did. He would eat and then just run, 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 run. Uh, he got so skinny, and it was bad. Um, sorry, I'm what my teacher would say, bird walking. I I'm on a lot of medications, a lot, and like my boyfriend's been with me through all of it. Uh, when I was on my leave of absence, I was trying to like improve my house. Like I wanted to do flip or flop type deal because I wanted extra income from it. And I flopped. I went into bankruptcy and I did a short sale on the house, thankfully. Um, because that would have been like 7 years if it was a foreclosure on my credit score report thing. And then the bankruptcy is going to be on my report for 7 years. Uh, and I mean, but that's when the government takes over all of your debts. At the time, I was just kind of like, it's a relief, but I mean, and kind of, it was scary. And again, the bankruptcy part was because I wasn't getting hours at work. And because I was just like, I have all this debt and I'm not getting enough income to pay it off. It's frustrating because I had really, really good credit and now I don't. So, and part of the bipolar is like when you're manic, you try to do a bunch of projects all at once, but then you don't finish them. And I'm working on that. I've gotten a lot better because I've gotten medications that I've needed. Um, I did go to therapy while I was there, while I was off for leave of absence, and it helped me get the tools that I needed to deal with stress a bit better. Um, I dealt with the stress. Um, again, but I had a lot of anxiety when I came back to work, so I wasn't screaming. I was imploding. And when you implode, it's a little different. Like, and here's, I guess, what I'm talking about. When I was manic, I would explode. And it felt like everyone was annoying me, like beyond what I could deal with. And God, I was so anxious too. Um, so incredibly anxious. So it's just I was stressed about doing things quickly, accurately, and then having good customer service. So every little delay annoyed me uh, to the point where I was belittling people, and that's not right. And I, I'm bird walking so much. So I I had some mental health problems growing up, And I thought it was just me being homosexual and a strong practicing Roman Catholic and trying to figure out what to do. And I went down the left hand path. So I was just like, if I'm going to hell anyways, might as well just cozy up to the boss. Um, that was such a dark time for me. And then I finally escaped to college, and I was so excited about it because a few things. It was either MTV or VH1 who had My Life in High School episodes. And one of the episodes was My Life in the Closet. And so these people of the rainbow, we'll just call it that way, um, talked about what they went through. And every person's experience was different. And all of them were like, it gets better. Hang in there until college. Like, once I found my people, I felt great. And I did. I was on a mission. I was like, I'm going to find my people. I'm going to go clubbing. I'm going to have a boyfriend. I'm going to do all these things. But the being Catholic thing still rocked my boat really hard. And then, so my parents were pressuring me to be like an all straight A person in school. So I was dealing with that stress. I was dealing with the stress of um, like marching band, and I was dealing with the stress of being gay and being Catholic. It was so hard. Um, and I had suicide ideation. And looking back, I'm like, okay, this is a part of the bipolar. But the only drug that I knew about was lithium, and I heard terrible things about it, so I wasn't ready to be diagnosed because I heard lithium kind of just makes you feel flaw. You don't feel emotions. And I didn't want that. I didn't want to go through life, a gray life. I wanted to still have some emotions, but not as strong. So I waited. It was so how I came out. Let's do that. Um, in college, I was just like, I'm gonna tell everyone. Uh, that isn't like. I even told some Bible thumpers, and they knew me, they liked me, and some of them didn't care, and that was nice. Some of them I became great friends with. Others, not so much. Um, oh, and I grew up in the South, so it was just like I'm in the Bible Belt. Uh, certain religious groups, I'm not going to mention them, but certain religious groups attacked me, not physically, but spiritually, and said our worship of saints, I don't know if worship is the correct term, was like paganism. And I had a really hard time defending myself there. And then, like, in high school, everyone was just quoting scripture about how homosexuals are going to hell and stuff. And I hated it. Um, in high school, psych AP, we had to do a mask project. And so we had to do the outside, and that was the mask or the face that we showed everyone. the one full of lies. And in the other side is who we really are. And I so wanted to just have that little lambda symbol or the upside down triangle, um, like as a flap. So what I mean by that is even behind the mask, I still try to hide it from myself. But I had nightmares that I would get kicked out of the house. Um, so I didn't tell anyone. I wanted to so bad though. It was this giant weight on me. And so I thought all the emotions that I was having that were actually bipolar was just stress from being gay, Catholic in the Bible Belt. So, anyways, I make it to college. I out myself to like my really close friends. Um, and I feel like I've been accepted into a family. And this was before all the dating apps. So it was fun. You would go to a club, try to pick someone up, get like a phone number, their digits or whatever. And this is when it was like T9 texting, no swiping. It was like you kept pushing the button to get the letter that you needed. It was so there's a lot of abbreviations. That's why we have LOL. That's why we have uh, JK, other things. That's where those came from. That and gaming. That's a different story. So I've been trying to dance. I've been dancing around this topic. How I came out to my parents. I don't know if y'all believe in it, but I believe in the third eye. Some people would call it your gut. And I was kind of dating this guy. Um, like we met at uh, the castle. He was very tall. Like even if he would sit on a lower step, I'd sit on a higher step, and he'd still be taller than I was. Um, and he was really pretty. I liked him. And but he was kind of weird because he would say things, and I'd just be like, okay, and he'd be like, oh, I was just kidding. Um, like one of which was like I use heroin type deal, and I was just like, okay, and he's like, I don't. So it was an interesting relationship, and for me, for not ever having like homosexual contact, when I held his hand on the steps at the club, I was just, it was electric, and it felt so good, so right. Um, and I am just holding hands was magical to me, and being surrounded by people who didn't care was magical to me. So this guy and I are like calling and texting late at night because I'm late studying and he's late doing whatever. So we talk late, and I'm at fall break, and the I'm at the main campus, and all the main campus cafeterias are closed, so I have to hike up to this cafeteria to get food, but it's not open all the time, like the main campus cafeterias are. So I'm like starving because I'm a poor student with no car. So I call my dad and I'm just like, hey, I'm miserable. Can you come get me? So he does. Um, so I go up to one night. I go up to my room, and like I leave. I'm just thinking, okay, I'm gonna leave my Motorola Razr. Just gonna drop that. Um, my Motorola Razr on ring. And I was just like, I know someone's going to be down in the den late at night. Like, that never happens. But I was like, this is going to happen. So, of course, he called and I was talking to him as usual. And the next morning, mom was just like, oh, who were you talking to? I was like, my boyfriend. Just like that. No prelude, no anything. It's just my boyfriend. And mom, of course, was just like, oh, your friend who happens to be a boy. I'm like, no, my boyfriend. And she starts crying. Um, and that's the whole thing. And then apparently, I didn't know this at the time, but apparently she's crying so much that dad comes in and sees her crying. And she tells him what's going on. And, oh, that was a nightmare. Because my mom compared me to people that were, I would just say a certain way. Um, and she didn't understand why I wasn't trying to mainstream it. She didn't understand why I had to tell people. I'm just like, people assume I'm straight and I don't want to talk about girls. I want to talk about guys. I'm attracted to guys. And she was so hateful. And so we were not talking for a while. And like it got so bad, she like tried calling the dorm and being like, I don't know if my son's alive, blah blah blah. And the person that answered the phone was just like, we can't give out the information where your son is, um, but he's not dead. So life was a nightmare for a little bit, trying to get good grades, trying to balance boyfriend time with friend time with all these other things. Um, and then trying to deal with that. And it got to the point where we were in Hilton Head and on vacation, and we went to Mass, which is Catholic Church stuff. Like a meeting of the Catholics where the priest like tells us stuff. And at the Mass, we go up to get communion. And I am old school in the thought that if you are unclean in the eyes of the church, you did not deserve the everlasting life, bread of Christ deal. So I just sat there, and mom was like, "Get up." And I was like, "Nope." And she kept insisting, and she said I embarrassed her so much that she told my dad to kick me out of the car, effectively trying to make me homeless, and nowhere near any of my friends, nowhere near any of not in nowhere near my college. That was like 5 hours away from Hilton Head. My friend was in my one friend that had an awesome mom who was just like, you can stay here if you get kicked out. They lived in Colombia. So that was really hard. Thankfully, my dad is just like, no, he's my son. And he's always going to have us. And God, oh, it was terrible. I hated her so much. And I was so angry. And again, I thought my bipolar was just a part of the trying to like the depression was trying to reconcile being Catholic and being gay. Oh, and receiving the bread of Christ. Like I did a confession, talked to a priest. It was face to face, and he said, "Well, another way to look at it is the body of Christ can purify you. So that was the new school way of thinking. I was like, oh, okay. But I wasn't about to go back to church, any church. So the whole mental health thing. So y'all should know the signs of severe depression. And that was a part of my bipolar, which when I finally realized I had true rapid cycling bipolar. And when I mean rapid cycling, it's like less than a week. It's like a couple of days. I cycle through my manic and depression. And my depression, it just felt like I was in this dark hole and there was like nothing. It's just absolute nothingness. So I would reach out, I would text a bunch of people, be like, I love you. Um, I just needed someone to say I love you back. I needed it. Um, 'Cause I had suicide ideation. I wanted to die. Um, that was terrible. I hated it. Um, so that is undergraduate school, kind of in a nutshell. Um, I'm trying to think of other things. So I want to give you like advice or learn from my experiences. Um, there are Christian churches that accept you for being gay. Um, how my religion is very weird. Um, I consider myself a non-practicing Catholic Wiccan Buddhist. For the Wiccan part, it is there's energy in nature, and for me, God is Gaia, the spirit of the world, the thing that connects all living things. It's the energy in rocks, it's the energy in plants. Um, and my concern is that Gaia is terribly ill. And then the Buddhist part is I believe in reincarnation. And I've been told many times I'm an old soul. That's why I just like to cut through all of the hogwash. Like, hey, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. And just be like, hey, do you want to hang out? Or, hey, I'm going here. Do you want to come with me? Or, hey, I need your help. Because I just don't have the patience for it. Um, so, yeah, I will talk about my doctorate, graduate school stuff later. Um, I was all over the place for 30 minutes. If you have questions, feel free to comment below and I will try to respond to them. Ideally, I'd like to respond to them via video. So ask me anything and I will do my best to respond. There are certain topics that I will not talk about because, unlike my book, which is TVMA, I want my channel, the other part of my channel, this part of my channel, to be more PG 13. It's probably PG 13 with the whole depression stuff. Maybe more. But I know you're out there. I know there are people who feel like I do. And I want to end on a couple of notes. But the main one, I mean, RuPaul always says, how can you love someone if you can't love yourself? And that's hard. That's really hard sometimes. And as she would say, it's your inner saboteur. And that little voice that says, you can't, you're not worth it. And it puts you in that dark, deep hole where nobody's around you. And when you look up, all you see is darkness. And when it comes to suicide and suicide ideation, people will send out love you texts because they are in that deep, dark hole. Um, they might change their look dramatically to get like some attention because they feel like they're not getting any love or any attention. Or at least me. I should speak on my terms. I felt like this. Um, and I heard on NPR, this is the main core lesson at the end of this vlog that I'm apparently doing. I heard, and I keep this in my mind, depression and suicide. Suicide because you want the pain to stop and you feel like it might not stop ever. But you shouldn't end your life to end the pain. Um, I know people call it selfish, but with my suicide ideation, I'm not trying to harm other people. I'm trying to escape. And I don't encourage suicide. I encourage you to call a hotline and talk to someone. Send the I love you text and try to, like, if someone responds, just call them, have a chat. Um, you don't want to end yourself, you want to end the pain. And please, if you feel suicidal, suicide ideation, please reach out to someone, reach out to a hotline, a person that's in your life, a therapist, psychiatrist, someone. And if I can make it out of that deep, dark depression that kept me from getting out of bed, wanting to find someone to kill me, or wanting to drive off a bridge, or other things, I just, if I can make it, I really hope and pray that you can see the light that I saw. And be you. You are loved. And when it comes to religion, if it makes you feel suicidal, that's not the religion for you. God is love. God is kind. He is slow to anger. He is the best parent we can ever find. Granted, sometimes I think God is a she or non-gender. Um, and that's very controversial, I know. Whatever. Leave it in the comments. Don't care. Um, if that religion makes you want to kill yourself, don't do it. Don't do that religion. It's not for you. I know Hard Rock Cafe's slogan is love all, serve all, but I feel like that should be the main tenet of Christianity or any religion. Love all, serve all. Easy to say, very hard to do. Um, and I say this because I work with people that can be very aggravating. And I just want you to know out there that you're loved. And though I may not know you, though we may never meet, I love you because we, biblically or scientifically, are a family. and we should love each other and help each other. God is love, nature is love. Oh, just love, be happy. I I pray for you out there that feel like I did during my depression phases. I pray out there for people who feel lost. And it's not some fancy prayer, it's just, please, Lord, take care of them, show them the light, show them the way, take them out of that darkness, please. And remember out there, you are family, you are loved, and I hope you can see love, no matter how dark it is sometimes. So, this is hemoglobin saying it's okay to admit you have mental health problems. And it's okay to seek treatment. And though we may never meet, though I may never know you, I love you. And I do wish you the best. But I think I should stop my vlog there. And I will probably do more vlogging because that was very cathartic. But again, end of discussion is you are loved. And I'm hemoglobin saying you are loved. And I hope and pray that you can feel that. Goodbye.